Shalom, Yashrala, Shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. I want to get into this video. For those of y'all brothers who are unfamiliar with this brother on the screen, he goes by GRLA Hebrew or Alizar. He used to be the head leader of the group Sakari. And for those of y'all who've been on my channel for a long time, you know, back when I first came into the knowledge hard body, he was somebody on the radar of GMS. We did a few lives on him because, to be honest, bro, he was just doing a lot of carnality in a lot of his camps and his videos, guns, you know, merchandise and the truth and things like that. And for those of y'all who've been keeping up, I'm not gonna go too deep into it. You know, he had a controversy earlier this year where a lot of brothers was exposing some of the things that came into light. And I actually did a video in regards to Sirach that centered around this. For those of y'all, you know, this was my first video. It was called Precepts in Motion Part 1. And I went over this specific scripture. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, chapter 1 and 30. It says, "Exalt not yourself, lest you fall, and bring dishonor upon thy soul. And so the Most High discover thy secrets and cast thee down in the midst of the congregation, because thou camest not in truth to fear of the Most High, but thy heart is full of deceit." And all throughout, you know, when you look at, because you got to be able to discern the spirit of camps. If the Most High gives you the spirit of discernment, you know, you can start to look and understand leadership and understand how a congregation moves, what type of spirit they're in. Like example, you got the GMS spirit where they're hard body and prophecy and knowledge, but they can't be corrected because they think they have all the answers, even though there's holes in their doctrine. You got the Sakari, or I don't know the other ones specific to Sakari, where they do a lot of carnality. They get caught up in a lot of the hip hop, street culture vibe, and it seemed like they're adding carnality of the world and trying to identify it with the Hebrew quote unquote Israelite movement. You know, you have ISUPK, you got IUI. There's so many different groups, and to be honest with y'all, with every group there's a certain spirit. And long story short, the brother been going through different things. I'm sure y'all, if y'all brothers watch other groups, you know that they made videos on him. So that's why I didn't really go into what had happened earlier in the year, because there's already videos coming out. And this one in particular I wanted to do because a brother had reached out to me and asked me about it. And you know, I thought it was revelatory. Honestly, I was laughing when I first watched the video, because hey bro, don't play with the Most High, man. Don't play with the Most High. Let's go to the book of Proverbs. So this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 25 and 6. It says, "Put not forth yourself in the presence of the king, and stand not in the place of great men. For better it is that it be said unto thee, Come up hither, than that thou should be put lower in the presence of the prince, whom thine eyes have seen." So basically the scripture is talking about, don't try to elevate yourself up to a level thinking that you're this great dude, that you start to lose humility, you start to lose purity, you start to lose that sincere love for the Most High that you conduct yourself with and the people around you, that the Most High will try to humble you. And just in my opinion, and from what other brothers have seen and we've talked about, that's the biggest issue with him. He has a lot of self-aggrandizement, and he tries to mask it as if he's this righteous and religious ruler. I mean, he's this righteous leader. But when you really look at a lot of his fruits, you can tell it doesn't come from a pure heart. So I want to get into this video. I'm gonna probably watch the first 10 minutes and just bring out certain scriptures based off of it.
The Hebrew Israelite community, I just got done talking about it. I can't be associated with the Hebrew Israelites anymore. For real deal. How do you become an Israelite? You don't become an Israelite. I'm not coming in representing the Hebrew Israelite community anymore. Nah, I ain't doing that. Somebody asked me like, oh, so what do you identify as now if you're saying you're not a so-called Hebrew Israelite? Why lead a movement? Well, because it's a movement. and movement stop, where they're actually cosplaying as the ancient Israelites, and they are exactly like Christians because they're still picking and choosing the parts of the Bible in which they want to follow. The Israelites have been have allowed themselves to be bamboozled and continually bamboozle themselves. I just want people to understand the Hebrew Israelites conceptually are shooting themselves in the foot. Nobody's taking it seriously.
Now, real quick, when y'all watch like the whole 10 minutes, I didn't watch the whole thing, but he basically just took clips of this whole video and used it as clickbait. That's the first red flag, bro. Because a lot of times people want to have perfect tags. They want to have a perfect thumbnail that draws people in and clicks. Like you see this with Watchmen for Israel. They'll have a title on a video that's clickbaitish to try to get you to look at some drama, some strife, cutting down somebody in the spirit. Is not pure. I'm not sitting here saying you can't have a good, thumbnail because you want people to look at it. But when you're so focused on your video getting clicks and hitting for the algorithm so you can get views, that shows that you're not doing it for the right reasons. Because at the end of the day, we're not doing this in ourselves. We're doing this for the Most High. That's why if you guys look at some of these other videos of different brothers reacting, they probably just went off of the first minute because it's, oh, bro, can you believe what this nigga said? And obviously brothers need to, hear the full matter before they rebuke. But my point is this: you as a man in the word, you're not supposed to be doing things to get clicks, to get likes, to get views, because that shows the real reality of your heart. You see what I mean?
You think I'm over here watching Hebrew Israelite debates, Eliezer? The same recycled, backwash topics? I think not. I've been there, I've done that. I came, I saw, I conquered that. I'm just letting you know. All I gotta say is all them niggas need to get in my debate course. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right, now real quick. I'm not gonna try to laugh or nothing like that. But first things first, like I get the debate thing, bro. It's a lot of the same recycled topics. And to be honest with y'all brothers, sometimes you're gonna have to redo the same video over and over again because that's just the nature of the word. But the thing is, when you have a zeal and a love for the Most High and His word, again, it's living waters. The waters is always moving, it's always flowing. So you really do have to have a pure joy when you're teaching it, because he's been in this for like 14 years. Me personally, I've only been in it for like 4 years. I've known about it for about 5, but a really hard body been in it for about 4.5 years. So I don't have the experience of being in this faith as long as him. So I can't speak for him or speak in relation to him. But I do understand when you get caught up in the constant back and forth, going against hoteps, going against Christians, a lot of times, bruh, it can get old because there's no real fruits of growth in it. But it is necessary, especially for people who are coming in, who are new, who don't really understand the word like that. But hear what he said. He said, come to my debate course. Watch.
I think not. I've been there, I've done that. I came, I saw, I conquered that. I'm just letting you know. All I gotta say is all them niggas need to get in my debate course. That's all I'm gonna say. Because the things I do see or the things I do hear about, they need help. They need help, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but all them niggas need to go in ahead and get up in the Cutthroat Academy.
All right, so look. The Cutthroat Academy. Yeah, that's what I said. I'm trying not to laugh, bro. Like, when you look at his page, bro, it's all merchandise. Watch. It says GRLA Hebrew is a Bible-based thought leader, activist, and influencer. He's recognized for his raw and passionate style of teaching, blending street level engagement with intellectual discourse, meaning he can relate to people who are coming from the streets, coming from the hood, and mix it with the intellectual discourse of the word. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. But again, you got to run away from the street life, because there is a certain association with the carnality and the destruction that's caused on our people, that us trying to mix water with defiled muck water, it don't mix. You can't mix the two. It's gonna corrupt it. Remember, the Most High says a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump when he was speaking, when Paul wrote that. Here, let's just get it real quick. So this is 1 Corinthians 5 and 6. It says, Your glorying is not good. Know you not that a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump? Purge out therefore the old leaven, that you may be a new lump, as you are unleavened. For even Hamashiach, our Passover, is sacrificed for us. So Paul, when he was speaking to the Corinthians, they were glorifying in the wickedness that was in their body. There's somebody within the body who committed fornication, and they didn't drastically rebuke him, but they made it seem as if they were okay with it. And Paul was letting them know, like, look, if any of y'all have a heart that's wicked with leaven in it, you all are defiled in the eyes of the Most High. So you need to work to purge that off. Don't, have to seek validation or, don't feel good about it. But make sure you completely eradicate that from your mind, from your body, because if not, the Most High is going to judge you for it, right? So getting back into it. So, it says his teachings focus on cultivating righteousness, leadership, and self-awareness while addressing social, cultural, and spiritual issues affecting marginalized communities. Through his work, he continues to push for cultural pride, knowledge, and collective empowerment. And y'all can say what y'all want. I mean, brothers, I've done business courses. I've ran certain, business ideas. To me, it just sounds like he's trying to brand himself, if I'm just being honest with you. Now, this is the part that he's talking about, right? Because obviously he got a subscription to different members, and he's been doing this for years. Like, I made a video back in 2022 rebuking Beacon, just anybody who is charging for the word, because at the end of the day, the scripture says to not make Yahushua was getting on merchants who were making his house a den of merchants, a den of thieves, coming in trying to charge people for the word that you don't got to pay a price for. Let me see specifically. I looked at it on my phone, but he had different tiers for his memberships or whatever. All right, so I'm trying to find the tier list, but I mean, I came here so y'all see it. So he got a link tree, brothers. And obviously y'all know he has, urban wear. And I mean, for brothers who, do sell shirts, I get it. He don't got fringes on the shirts when that's the whole point of those shirts. It's so that way not only are you keeping the commandments, but you're, showing in remembrance to keeping the Most High's law. And me, I'm not perfect when it comes to the fringes, so I can't speak on it. But I'm just speaking in regards to, the merchandising of it. It's supposed to be in remembrance of keeping righteousness and understanding your true nationality and your true seed line. So for those of y'all brothers, I mean, he on a new jumper interview, which in my mind, bro, red flag. Y'all already know the ties with no jumper at all these different celebrities, man. Again, bro, it seemed like he was trying to go Hebrew Hollywood, right? So this is one of them. He charges for counseling. Like, again, like, brothers, if you were going through something spiritually, a demon was attacking you, and he was supposed to be your leader, and you had a serious matter, you'd have to charge yourself $100. You have to pay $100 to get counseling from somebody who's supposed to be, a leader or a shepherd of the body of the church, right? Literally insane, bro. Insane. But this isn't what I was talking about. He got a Hebrew Academy. I'm trying to find that. It's called Cutthroat Academy. All right, brothers, I finally found it. So basically, a part of the movement, he got different tiers. And again, if he was doing this and it had nothing to do with the word, nothing to do with the scriptures, nothing to do with trying to, build up the elect, there wouldn't be nothing wrong with it. But again, he basically just merchandises his status as a leader of a group and of a camp, so that way he can make money off of it and brands it as if he's being a virtuous leader. Because again, when you read the scriptures, there are two ways that people get paid. One is if you are a Levite, and again, he say he's a Levite, but again, none of these brothers have no understanding on if they're actually from the tribe of Levi or not, because you don't even know where your forefathers came from. And specifically, you can try and, pinpoint it based off of a chart, but you don't have any genealogical evidence. It's just the truth, bro. So the only way that you could get money if you were a leader was through tithes. If you were a Levitical priest, or if you were working under the Levitical priesthood, which we're not even under right now. We're actually under the priesthood of Melchizedek. Or if you receive alms. And we can look up the definition of what an alm is. It says money or food given to the poor. Now let's look up like the Blue Letter Bible definition. So in the Bible, refers to money or goods given to the poor as an act of charity, often motivated by compassion and a desire to help those in need. So if you were somebody who wasn't able-bodied, you were in a time of poverty, you might have been homeless, you might have lost your job, natural events happen, then you would ask for hey brothers, hey sisters, I'm going through a tough time, I really need your help. Can you help me with this? Or if you're somebody who teaches, a lot of brothers might have a Cash App that they put in their description, and if you wanted to give a or you wanted to pay somebody a tithe, then you would give it to them. But it's not something that was a staple of your teaching, in which people would come and have to pay to be a member or to get counsel or to learn how to cut people when it comes to the word. Look at this. This is what he's talking about. Cutthroat Academy debate course. This gives you access to all of Guerrilla Hebrew's new and exclusive cutthroat debate course. So he basically saying, hey bro, if you want to learn how to cut people in the word and how to go on the streets and teach, just pay $40 a month. And then this one is bad, bro. Hey, red flag any of y'all brothers. If you watching a video from any leader and he's charging you for counsel, red flag, bro. I wouldn't even take him seriously. If you still want to learn from him, I mean, I got you, I guess, but complete red flag, because it shows that your heart is not in it. Let's get those scriptures in regards to not merchandising the truth. All right, so this is Matthew 21:12. It says, Yahushua went into the temple of the Most High and cast out all of them that sold and bought in the temple, and overthrew the tables of the money changers and the seats of them that sold doves, and said unto them, it is written, my house shall be called the house of prayer, but you have made it a den of thieves. And the blind and lame came to him in the temple, and he healed them. So what was the main purpose of the temple? The temple was a place of healing, of purification, of sanctification. But the people would come in and use it to make money. So it may not be that somebody went into the church and is trying to sell merchandise while the sermon is going on or while the teaching is going on. But if their mentality and if their spirit was more focused on making money compared to actually doing what the temple was, which was to heal. Verse 14, it says, the blind and the lame came to him in the temple, and he healed them. So again, this is the true purpose of the word, of the knowledge, of the understanding of the Bible, bro. Again, when you start going off into the world and you start doing things of the world, that speaks that your spirit is being corrupted, which we're gonna see. Let's look at it. Oh, Salaki, let me go back.
Okay, not horrible all the time, but niggas need help, for real. I'm on TikTok. I'm gonna be doing exclusive premium lives for subs only once a week also. Appreciate you, Umu.
I want to make my wrongs.
Then he said he's gonna do a live for premium subs. You gotta be a premium sub to get a live on the debate that he's talking about.
Did you come with the follow? Come with the follow too. We turn up. I want you to understand something. I'm in my unlimited era right now. You're gonna see all forms of content on here. You're gonna see real game. You're gonna see Bible talk. You're gonna see funny stuff. You're gonna see me talking to broads. You're gonna see how fresh I am. You're gonna see family content.
So listen to what he's saying. He said you're gonna see Bible talk. You're gonna see hood stuff. You're gonna see me talking to broads. You're gonna see how fly I am. So basically what he's doing, he's taking his whatever you want to call him, influencer status. I don't know what you want to call him. Now, basically, he's trying to be an influencer, but he knows that he got in this position from trying to be a leader of a congregation within the quote-unquote Hebrew Israelite movement or community. So again, bro, he not really focused on. I mean, he might say he's focused on because he has videos where he, wants to break down the word or debate or whatever it is. But again, his mind is not on it. It would be like the equivalent of me when I have Young High Flyers, when I was making music 4 years ago, constantly promoting my music in the videos, making sure you looked at the video and, got edification, but then I'm promoting, my music. Or, when I want to do something with coaching, I'm using the Young High Flyers and what it's built off, which is spiritual understanding. And I'm trying to be able to form and find a way to make money off of the word. And at the end of the day, bruh, the most important, let's get it. Matthew chapter 7. All right, Salaki, it's Matthew chapter 6 in verse 33. It says, but seek you first the kingdom of the Most High and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. What is the things added unto you? Eating, drinking, being clothed, basically being taken care of. You will be taken care of with your fleshly needs in order to survive in this flesh, as long as you keep the Most High first in his righteousness. Verse 34 says, take therefore no thought for the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. So this is talking about not being anxious of how you're going to survive in this world. But when it comes to you being a leader of a body, you shouldn't even really be focused on how you're going to get taken care of when it comes to financial provisions, because the Most High is always going to make a way for you when your heart is pure and when your heart is in the right place. So again, anytime I see a leader saying that we get paid tithes and this and that, bruh, I mean, again, if it ain't full transparency, I mean, I gotta look at you sideways.
You gonna see hood stuff. You gonna see everything. I'm unlimited, right? Praise the Lord. You gonna see debates. I'm unlimited now, right? I'm just me. I'm doing everything that I want to do, right? So it's beautiful. So definitely make sure you following, because you're gonna get everything in here. Shout out to Stacks Francis, just came in the building. He knows me. Stack Francis knew me since I was probably 13 years old. He can tell you about me and all the different dimensions and aspects of me, right? And it's time to lean into that, because guess what? I want everybody to understand out there, God created you. The Most High created you, right? So when the Most High created you, he created something amazing, and you need to be you. You just need to be you in accordance with the blueprint that God gave us in his word. Simple.
And I mean, again, I agree with that. You know, there's certain things outside of, this page and making videos that, I want to work on and build on and things like that. But the most important thing is that everything in your base and foundation has to be built on the word. Because to me, I'm going to just be honest with y'all, brothers, it sounded like he just kind of stepping down from trying to be a leader. And now it could be he wanted to go in a different direction. It could be that, he got exposed and all his business came out. And now he's like, oh, damn, I ain't getting the respect or the clout that I used to get. So I need to find another way. I don't know. But just based off of the fruits, just based off of the history, again, the Most High gonna show you who a person is when he ready to show it. It's just up to you to be able to discern it. So that's just what I'm hearing. That's just what and it's not just me. It's brothers all across the different groups, which even though I disagree with some of the things they say, some of their doctrine, but they picking up on it.
Right? Because some aspects about you might be negative and go against the blueprint the Most High gave us. So just be you according to the blueprint in which God gave. Simple. I explained in my recent post, I'm on it. Most High got me on a certain assignment right now. But a lot of people are still like, well, what are you gonna do? When are you gonna talk about this? When are you gonna teach on this? And but like, if y'all ain't realized, the Most High shifted my direction. So with that, because I've been doing that, y'all gotta remember, I've been laboring in week in and week out teaching for 14 years. For 14 years, right? Praise the Lord. And he got me doing something else right now, but I understand that the hunger is still there. Teaching is like my favorite thing to do in the world. So I still want to give, I know y'all want it. I still want to give it to you. But this is how it's going to have to come right now. Because my focus is elsewhere right now. And not because of myself, because the Most High says so. I can't argue with the man. He the boss. I just work here. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But yeah, all praise to the Most High. The real deal. How do you become an Israelite? You don't become an Israelite. You either simply are or you are not. It is a lineage. It's a patrilineage. So you either are of that lineage or are not. So somebody asked me like, oh, so what do you identify as now if you're saying you're not a so-called Hebrew Israelite? When I say I'm not a so-called Hebrew Israelite, I'm referring to the very toxic community that has taken our lineage and has taken the knowledge, wisdom, understanding that the Most High has passed to us, and our through our ancestors in the transmission of the scriptures, and turned it into some weird like religious weird stuff. Yeah, I'm not with that.
And this is the thing, like when y'all brothers go to the first minute of the video, he took parts of that statement, edited it so it made it seem like he's not a part of the Israelites. Even look at the title, Guerrilla Hebrew says he's not a Hebrew Israelite anymore. That's clout chasing. Because again, he's just trying to get you to click. He's trying to get his name out there. He's trying to make you think, bro, see this nigga. But then when you actually watch the video, he's basically just saying, I don't want to be a part of a lot of the back and forth strife bullshit. And this is true. The back and forth strife bullshit from all these different camps trying to prove I had the most knowledge, trying to prove. And I'm going to be honest, he's speaking facts on that. You know, you kind of got to take a little bit of a step back and start looking and analyzing a lot of the fruits of these different camps. And you'll start to realize, bro, a lot of the fruits ain't even in the spirit. No joy, no peace, no temperance, no long suffering, meekness. I mean, we could keep going on and on and on. So when he brings that up, I agree with him. But the way that he's trying to brand it up, he's trying to get clicks, he's trying to get views, he's trying to be seen, which shows me that though he's saying something with his mouth, his intentions behind it don't seem to be aligned with it. Because if you were just purely trying to get away, you wouldn't have to constantly be doing things to get attention, to get clicks, and to get notoriety. So let's get this real quick. Let's go to James chapter 1 and 8. James 1 and 8, it says, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So again, the brother is still trying to build a brand off of what he knows as being a leader of the Sakari or whatever group he used to be a part of before that. But then at the same time, he's saying how he doesn't want to be a part of a lot of the negative aspects of the quote-unquote Hebrew Israelite movement. Even though he's acknowledging being a Hebrew Israelite has nothing to do with a movement, it's based off of your lineage. So again, he's kind of going back and forth with it. And when he said that he doesn't want to be a part of a lot of the toxicity, I mean, brother, you're a part of a lot of the toxicity, bro. You and your camp were bringing ARs on the streets. You and your camp was going out and being a part of carnality as a leader. You yourself was going on No Jumper. You yourself was on hood songs with carnal niggas in the hood, trying to make it seem like you was a part of like some street gang, but then you cosplay that you're a part of Hebrew Israelite, saying all praise to the Most High, when in the video a nigga talking about gang violence. So, and that's why y'all brothers got to be able to discern and have understanding on these matters, because if you don't know, you just look at the person from the outside, you're like, oh man, he a man of the Most High, man, they just getting on him. But you gotta take accountability for all the stuff that you did, and maybe he did. But my point is, you can't get away from the culture and say that, or get away from the negative energy of the Hebrew Israelite and this and that, when you yourself have played a part in that.
Do I come from the lineage of Israel? For sure, emphatically, I hold to that. None of my beliefs have changed.
And honestly, when he said you come from the lineage, he hesitated, bro. So I ain't gonna get too deep into it. I know some brothers gonna call him a Mims, or some brothers gonna say, Israelite. A lot of y'all brothers judge off a carnal appearance, when again, all of y'all who feel that way, in the comment section, post your bloodline to the 12 tribes. If you can't do that, bro, you got in the same boat as him.
But my associations, and my mission, and how I'm going to represent myself and represent the word of the Most High, most certainly that's changed. 1000%. I can't be associated with the toxicity of the Hebrew Israelites anymore. Why lead a movement? Well, because it's a movement, and movements stop. That's the problem with movements. Our lineage, our heritage, should have never been turned into a movement. That's something that my big brother, the incomparable Andre Taylor, taught us. When you turn something into a movement, movements stop. Look at every movement that's ever happened. Look at it. This movement, that movement. It moves. Then it stopped moving. Right? Appreciate the sub, Ron Meyer.
And on that one, I mean, that's happening in everything. Even when you look at the original church that was built, the longer Yahushua was gone, the more apostasies came, the more divided it came, the more doctrines split. And that's kind of where we're at right now. When you start from the original One West, the commandment keepers, and you have all the different men. I don't know their name off the top of my head, but I can think of Abba Vivens, Priest Ariah, Elder Rakah, General Yohana, whatever. I don't know all the names, but y'all get my point. They all split off, and now we're kind of in something where you have people who have an identity with the word, and the Most High has awakened many of his lost sheep through the word, but there's a lot of lies, a lot of false doctrine, there's a lot of puffed upness, there's a lot of agents, infiltrators, that at this point, bro, we're in a vast sea. There's no guidance, there's no real understanding outside of what the Most High has shown you. And if the Most High is giving you mercy to see through a lot of the lies from these different camps, and again, many of the brothers do good work, and a lot of them have a pure heart. But I mean, hey, let's get this. Matthew 13. So like it was Matthew 10 and 34. It says, "Think not that I'm come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword." So basically, Hamashiach and his spirit is always meant to sift. It's always meant to divide, and there's going to continue to be more divisions. It is what it is. I've been in this for a few years, and many of the brothers that I originally congregated with, I don't congregate with them. And many of the doctrines, not many, but some of the doctrines that I originally came in believing, I don't follow them because I realized there were holes in them. So, that's just a part of this movement. It's a part of, and I ain't call it a movement. That's just a part of this understanding, this knowledge that we have. And he's right, but at the end of the day, that's just a part of it.
Salute to you, brother. So I don't want to be associated with movements, right? I want to be associated with the wisdom of the Most High, because wisdom is more moving than any motion, right? So a lot of this movement of the Hebrew Israelites is based upon knowledge, and the scriptures teach us what that knowledge puffeth up. So it's just a bunch of people who's puffed up, who know a lot of stuff, but are not operating in the wisdom and understanding of the Most High. That are only operating in knowledge and not actually truly following the Bible. They're actually cosplaying as the ancient Israelites. And they are exactly like Christians, because they're still picking and choosing the parts of the Bible in which they want to follow. I don't want any association with that. And this is something that the Most High has showed me years ago, and dogmatically I wouldn't leave. And then he had to shake something up for me to and even after the shake up, it still took me time to truly understand through counsel with elders and revelation and dreams and scriptural studies and things like that. You got to get the hell away from these guys. Let them have it.
And again, bro, I'm not in Sakari. I don't know specifically what might have happened. Like I said, to be honest with y'all brothers, man, I don't even keep up with a lot of these camps and they doctrinal beefs, because again, like the brother said, a lot of puffed up knowledge, a lot of trying to prove people wrong, trying to be like a Pharisee and lead the people through what they believe to be right, compared to, again, having the purity and really testing the word and testing this doctrine through the spirit of the Most High. So I don't know specifically what he's referencing. It could be, again, those videos. It is what it is from earlier this year. But at the end of the day, you got to reflect on yourself, and like the things you saying can be applied to you. I mean, they could be applied to all of us to a certain extent, but I want to get this real quick. This is James 1:22. It says, "But be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own self. For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is likened to a man beholding his natural face in a glass." So he says a lot of people are cosplaying as Hebrew Israelites. A lot of people are being puffed up with their knowledge. I mean, brother, that's you. That's just you. So, I mean, you feel like you being led by the Most High, and that's the direction you want to go. But hey, the Most High sends delusions. The Most High makes you think you're right in your own eyes and that it was him putting it in you, which is again why you got to do this. Let's go to Matthew 7. This is Matthew 7:15. It says, "Beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. You will know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit." So the way that you understand somebody is through their spirit, because they receive fruits of the spirit. The people around them, the body that they represent, do they gather true grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? You have to really like evaluate the people that you're around, Akim, because a lot of brothers don't come in this for the right reasons. You know, they may start off pure and then again, like, you know, they just lose it. They lose the joy of the word. They feel like it's too tough. You know, they get corrupted by, you know, the things of this world. You know, they woman may get to them. And that's why you got to always constantly be evaluating, you know, what are you doing? What's your walk looking like? I've been corrected. I've been humbled plenty of times in my 4 years. And I'm blessed that the Most High did it, that I never got to this 20, 30, 40,000 subscriber base. And, you know what I'm saying, I'm competing with other groups and other camps, because you don't get peace in that. When at the end of the day, the Most High said that one of the fruits of the Spirit was of peace. You see what I'm saying? So it says, verse 20 says, "Wherefore by their fruits you shall know them." Let's go to Matthew 13 as well. And I'll go down to verse 22 or verse 21. It says, "Yet hath he not rooted himself, but dureth for a while. And when tribulation or persecution ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended." I mean, when all that stuff came out and the darkness came to light, hey, it's hard for you to be embarrassed and shamed at that point. But either you humble and you repent from it, which I think he did. Like I said, I don't keep up with a lot of his videos. Or you get offended and you run away, right? Verse 22, it says, "He that also receiveth seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh fruitful." In my opinion, that's the biggest issue, you know, just with that whole group, with his mindset. You know, he's focused on the clout, he's focused on the notoriety, the status, and that's why he keeps trying to bring things of the world into what's supposed to be pure. You can't be a friend of the world, but try to be a friend of the Most High.
If you want to learn from me, just sub here on TikTok. I'm doing lives once a week. All right, for subscribers. That's what I got. I'm on a mission. I take the boss's orders, man. That's all I can do is listen to the boss. And that's not what the boss wants me to do at this present time. I learned in 2008, video on World Star, seen some of the elders teaching on World Star in 2008. And that's when I began my journey. Stacks Preston, he can tell you. You feel me? He can tell you when I first came. Like I said, the nigga know me since I was about 13. He at least like, you like a year older than me. He been knowing me since I was about 13, 14 years old. So he can tell you all about when I first came in and everything. Because that was my everyday dude. You know what I'm saying? One of my everyday niggas for sure at that time. You feel me? You know, I'm a real individual. You know, it's going to be real people. Every aspect, everything, it's going to be real witnesses to that. Everything. You know what I'm saying? And you know, the beautiful thing about me is, what you call it? Am I still Sakari? How could I ever not be Sakari? That's my whole idea. The name is my idea. The signet is my idea. The color scheme is my idea. The structure is my. How can I never? That's mine. How can I not be? You know what I'm saying? Come on, fool. Y'all gotta think. Y'all gotta think. You know, Flex Detroit, appreciate the follow though. Make sure I salute you. In an active duty role, actively teaching, but I got something for people who want to sub up. Weekly live streams. That's what I got for you. Here on IG, on YouTube. It's all gonna be the same one, but it's just whatever platform that you're preferable to. You can sub here on TikTok, on IG, or on YouTube. On the cheap on YouTube, and you'll get weekly lives, right? If you're at the Level 1, bi-weekly. If you're at level 2, weekly. And level 2 is only available here on TikTok and YouTube. Feel me? So yeah, man, that's what I got for people who are looking for that. But as of right now, and for the time being, that's just not the space that I'm functioning. I'm functioning in a different space the Most High got me in. Man, Blackjack, what's the deal, bro? Appreciate the follow. Make sure we follow, make sure we like it, make sure we sharing. I mean, I'll debate just depending on how I feel. There's a debate I got with a Christian that's pending right now. You feel me? But they gotta understand I'm not coming in representing the Hebrew Israelite community anymore. Nah, I ain't doing that. I'm representing something. As far as my theological position, I'm coming in representing something different. So y'all just stay tuned for that.
But yeah, man, that's pretty much all I wanted to react to. I ain't gonna watch no full 45-minute video. But again, bro, to me it's just all, aggrandizement, trying to get views, trying to get clicks. In regards to stepping away from an active teaching, because I've been out on the streets, I've street preached, I've made lives with brothers, and I've worked daily on lives, and I get it, man. Like, a lot of times we get so caught up in trying to show that we doing a lot of works in order to please the Most High, but if your heart is not right, if your spirit is not right, sometimes the Most High has to take you away from that, because you're just going to make other people not right. You're going to make other people corrupted. So I know a lot of brothers like to say, oh, bro, if you ain't out on the streets every weekend, the Lord is sifting you out. That's not true. It's not true at all, because the Most High's word is going to come out whether you wanted to or not. He'll always have people who are going to be stewards of his word. You know what I'm saying? Who are going to be ambassadors of Yahweh Shai. So, a lot of brothers like to get into that trap. And even a lot of these elders themselves will say, technically, we don't have to street teach because we have the internet. The word's going to get out. But it's a part of your faith, which I do agree. But at the same time, you can't put yourself in a box when you know you're not right, when you know you don't have the understanding, when you know that you're just not apt to teach at that moment. Because it takes a certain spirit and a certain individual to be able to go through that and to be able to do it consistently in and out, which is why I give brothers, all the credit in the world and all the respect in the world for doing that. But just overall, in regards to what he's saying, it's just revealing his spirit, revealing his character. At the end of the day, if the Most High bring the brother back and, he's truly repentant and gone away from the world, carnality, and all the street nigga nonsense, hood stuff, then all praises to the Most High, man. But it's just too many red flags, way too many red flags. And when you have true spiritual discernment, you can see through a lot of it. So I'm gonna end it at that. Again, brothers, let's pull this scripture back up. It says, exalt not thyself lest thou fall, and bring dishonor upon thy soul. And so the Most High discovered thy secrets and cast thee down in the midst of the congregation, because thou camest not in truth to the fear of the Most High, but thy heart is full of deceit. The Most High is undefeated. His word is undefeated. People say that the book of the Apocrypha is not words of the Most High. Well, if you can't see this specific scripture illustrated with this example, then I don't know what to tell you, bro. But all praises to the Most High, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Until next time, it's your brother Ash Ibad, signing out.